Jordan here with Uncle's Independent Insurance Group, and I am on assignment for the Goddard Chamber of Commerce. We are here at Vrana Chiropractic in Acupuncture today. We are going to be doing Mr. Joey Vrana's origin story. So really just trying to get an idea of where he came from, what he's doing now, and really what he's planning in the future for Vrana Chiropractic and Acupuncture. So Joey, to start with, just really simple. We'll start at, the very beginning. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. So, where are you from? Where do you come from?
Yep. Well, I grew up around McPherson. I went to McPherson High School. And then from there I went to Hutch JUCO and then to Wichita State.
Awesome.
And I got a bachelor in business and a minor in marketing and a minor in management from Wichita State. And then it was, do I go to work for, in the business field, or do I continue my education? I got out and was a loan officer for a period of time, and I just didn't feel like I was fitting the need I needed to, and that's when I finally made the transition into heading up to chiropractic school at Cleveland Chiropractic in Kansas City.
Yeah, just up in Kansas City. Yeah. So what? Obviously, kind of with your degrees, you could have kind of gone, in a few different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So what set you kind of on the path of chiropractic that kind of opened your eyes to, oh, hey, there's a whole other world here that I'd love to be in, at least take a deeper look into.
Yeah. It was always a back burner for me. It was always an idea from when I was 12 years old. My mom was going to nursing school, and when she was studying the human body, I was just really interested in it, in the way muscles work, and I was kind of studying with her a little bit, but I was like 12 or 13 years old. And then I just kind of lost that idea for a while. But she said, I'll be your nurse if you become a chiropractor someday. And so she planted that seed, and then when I was in high school, I sprained my ankle. The medical doctors told me 6 to 8 weeks, grade 3 sprain, just stay off it.
Right.
And a buddy of mine told me you should try this chiropractor, and I thought, well, they only work on backs. And he was like, no, they work on all kinds of things, and I'm pretty sure he can help you. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks before regionals in state, my senior year, and I went in there, and he did a few tests on my ankle, and he adjusted my ankle, and it sounded like a firecracker went off in my foot, and it, huge relief. And I went from barely being able to walk in there straight to wrestling practice that day with probably 90% relief in that ankle. Still some swelling, but it was like total game changer.
Significant relief.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And so I went in there for a few treatments and was able to compete at regionals and state, and that just always stuck with me. Like there's something that the medical industry is missing out on if they're not looking at the structure of the human body and making sure things are working like they're supposed to be. A surgery doesn't fix all things.
Right.
There's some things that's not needed, and there's a time and a place for everything, of course.
Right.
But after I got done with that bachelor in business, I think I want to help people and put my business degree to work.
Yeah, still using the business degree, obviously,
Absolutely.
but in a little bit different way than maybe originally you had thought.
Yep.
So you go up to Cleveland Chiropractic up in KC, and so how long is that?
It's about a 4-year program, and it's 3 trimesters a year with 25 credit hours per semester. So it's pretty intensive. And it's the same amount of course hours as your primary physician has. Because we take more diagnosis, skeletal radiology, and anatomy classes, where they get off into more prescriptions.
Right.
We stay on the human body a little longer.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So get that finished up. 4 years there. Get that finished up. So what did the evolution look like to get to kind of where you are today? With your office here on Main Street in Goddard.
12 years ago, I met my wife at chiropractic school, and she has her own practice now. But we started right here in Goddard.
Because you were both originally here, right?
Both originally here for 2 years, and we got pregnant with twins, our first set of twins.
First set,
which is it's a wild deal in itself. But before we ever even had the office, like right out of school, we were pregnant with twins.
Yeah.
And so we were in here trying to figure out everything you need to figure out with starting a business.
Oh yeah.
But Goddard had everything going for it. It was the fastest growing school district in the state of Kansas, I think in 2010. It was just an up and coming city that I thought had a lot of growth and a lot of potential. And I coached high school wrestling here for 4 years, 2002 to 06.
Right.
And so I already had some contacts in the community with some coaches and stuff. And so it just was a good fit.
Right. So knew some more of the ins and the outs of the city. I mean, obviously you could look up the metrics, but you also knew, hey, good people, great
Great place
city.
to raise
yeah.
a family.
Absolutely.
Had all of those things going for it. And so me and my wife worked here together for a little over 2 years, and then we want to stay married, and we joke around about that. But we both like to kind of be the boss at the office.
Right.
And so
a little tough when you're both in the same room.
When you're both trying to be the boss. And so she opened another office at Tyler and Kellogg. That's the Lighthouse, now the Lighthouse Chiropractic. And both of us work with a lot of pediatrics and prenatal stuff, which a lot of people don't know that chiropractic helps with.
Yeah.
Babies, infants, pregnant ladies, all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't think that chiropractic necessarily helps with.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of family practice, but we see tons of athletes and tons of elderly and tons of all kinds of ages. But that definitely was a big niche that my wife started in initially, and then I saw the potential
to kind of lean into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I know for me, I mean, when I first came to you, and it's been 8 years ago now, maybe something like that.
Least, yeah.
8 years ago. I mean, I was a broke down former collegiate athlete. My hands were going numb. I was moving around like I was 60 years old, and I was like, oh no, this is just how it is. And you were the one who's like, no, that is not how it's supposed to be.
A numb leg and both arms.
Going numb. Arms were going numb. My leg was going numb. Yeah, and I'm like, well, this is just life now. And you were like, no, that is not how it's supposed to work. And then started working with you, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, like I had almost forgotten what it felt like to feel good.
Yeah.
So that was, I'm a believer. It was just one of those things that, because I was the guy that,
must be
throw
aging.
some more ibuprofen at it. Oh, must just be aging. This just must be. And I was like 26 when I was like, this is just.
A lot of my friends, that's their thought is that these aches and pains just must be part of getting older.
Right.
But they're 35 years old.
Right.
I'm like, at 35 years
they're
old.
They're not 75.
Yes, you shouldn't be dealing with back pain every day that you can barely tie your shoes.
Right.
But a lot of people, they just think this must be.
This is it.
This is it now, due to something that happened, and they don't realize that there's more.
Yeah. Well, and it was really an eye opener for me, because it's just I didn't grow up kind of with an understanding of chiropractic.
Sure.
It was just something that was kind of I'd heard about, and I kind of had a general understanding of it, didn't necessarily understand how it all worked.
Yeah.
And so that's been really something that's been cool for me, is to just kind of see more and more people getting involved or opening the door to chiropractic. So that's something that's interesting too, is where do you see, you've kind of been in the game now for a while, where do you see the future of chiropractic going?
Insurance premiums have gone through the roof, and health insurance deductibles are so high now. For families to get an affordable policy, they have a $5,000 deductible.
Right.
So up until that point, they have to pay out of pocket, and so people are being a lot more smart with their medical decisions and trying other options before they go straight to the emergency room or to the medical doctor, because they know the cost there is so high.
Right.
And the cost at a chiropractic office is exponentially lower. And so we get a lot of people in here that we start working on that they didn't realize how affordable it was to come get care or to be seen for, if somebody goes and does a CT at a medical office for a low back pain, it could be $2,000.
Right.
We could treat someone for 6 months for $2,000.
Right.
We could treat someone for a very long time and most likely fix that issue without even needing.
That's $2,000 just to get that scan. That hasn't not touching solving any problem or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so a lot of people are just kind of seeking options, and word of mouth plays a big part in it. When you've been here for 12 years,
right.
There's a lot of people that wouldn't necessarily go to a chiropractor, that they're like, I wasn't gonna try this, but I've had 3 people tell me that you fixed them, and so here I am.
Yeah, my dad, brother, my cousin, you've all helped them, and
so here we are.
Yeah.
And so that's how a lot of people find us, is just word of mouth.
Yeah. Well, which is always the best way to find new clients anyway. Well, Joey, I think that's fantastic. I mean, like I said, I've been a client here for, like I said, 8 to 10 years, something like that now. I've been impressed. Kept me together. My hands aren't numb anymore. My legs aren't numb anymore.
You're functioning on all cylinders.
Yeah, we're firing on all cylinders now. And I should give a shout out. You're the one who told me that I needed to get involved with the Goddard Chamber of Commerce when I first started my first business here in town. So big thank you for that and for everything that you do for
The
me.
Goddard Chamber is it's came a long way.
Absolutely.
In the last, I've been here 12 years, which is crazy to say, because it's like, and I'm sure like you've been in town for
close to 10 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes fast.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see the changes happening around Goddard and like more people kind of diving into those
right.
Community events, the Chamber and the Fall Fest and the Main
right.
Street markets and those things. And it's like, it's getting involved is what we need to be doing. So
absolutely. Well, it's always fun to work with people who want to help, right? It's always fun to work with people who want to give a helping hand and are trying to help the entire tide rise.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we've done a great job of, within the chamber over the last few years. So, having great support from, members like you. And so hopefully we can continue to do that, in the future. So
I appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That is Joey Vrana from Vrana Chiropractic and Acupuncture's Origin Stories. Thanks.